If you've never made sweet and sour chicken before, then this recipe is for you. I'm showing you how easy it is with a simple fry pan. I'm showing you how easy it is to cook pan-seared chicken that is golden on the outside and soft and juicy on the inside. Then we're making a mouth-watering sweet and sour sauce that is full of flavor but easy on the spice for gentle digestion. It is the perfect base, so you can easily add more spice to your preference. All of your guests will love it with your choice of vegetables. We're gonna make this super easy by having all of our ingredients prepped and ready to go. So I have started with just 2 medium to large carrots and 2 stalks of celery. And then I simply grated the outside of the carrots and then I finally diced them. I like to dice the carrots nice and thin and then have my celery a little bit thicker. It's very common to use green and red peppers in sweet and sour chicken, which you certainly can do. I have just found that they're a little bit more difficult to digest and can also promote heartburn. So I find it works best to use these milder vegetables that still have some beautiful orange and green color. Next, we want to have half a cup of chopped pineapple all ready to go. And I've just used the canned pineapple chunks and then I slice them in half just so that they're a little bit more bite-sized. But you could use any variety of pineapple that you like, or even omit it if it's not your favorite. Next, we're going to make this very delicious and simple sweet and sour sauce. We're going to start with half a cup of chicken stock. Now, I prefer to just use this better than bouillon because all I have to do is add half a teaspoon to a half a cup of water and then I instantly have chicken stock. And then I don't have to keep lots of cartons of chicken stock in my cupboard. Next, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of pineapple juice that I took from my can of pineapple chunks. Next, we'll add 1/3 cup of tomato paste, 1/4 cup of honey to bring in the sweet. And then we'll add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil, and you can use regular sesame oil, but the toasted has even more flavor to it. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and then I have 3 garlic cloves that I minced with my garlic press, 1 teaspoon of salt. And for the ginger, you can add half a teaspoon of dried ginger, but if you have access to fresh, I highly recommend it. It's just gonna make the flavor even more bright and vibrant. So you'll just make a clean cut across your ginger and then just run it along your zester until you have about half a teaspoon of fresh ginger. And it smells absolutely incredible. And then we'll add a dash of pepper. And to help thicken the sauce, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of tapioca flour or tapioca starch or cornstarch. Now we'll just whisk these together. Oh, that smells amazing. To get really juicy, flavorful chicken, we're going to pan sear 2 chicken breasts. And then we're going to take them off the pan, let them rest, and then we will slice them into our bite-sized chunks. To help make the chicken extra tender and cook evenly, we want to pound it so that it's an even thickness. And I found the best way to do this is to put the chicken breast inside of a plastic bag and then just take a heavy object, which is my rolling pin, and then just pound it until it's even. Now we want to season the chicken, which we can do very quickly by pulling the chicken out of the bag, then placing it on top of the bag. This also helps keep our counter nice and clean. Now I'm going to add a few dashes of pepper, as well as some coarse sea salt, and then flip them over and repeat on the other side. And now we have all of our ingredients ready to go into our frying pan. We're going to start by pan searing our chicken so that it has time to rest while we cook our vegetables and our sauce. So I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of some light olive oil to my very warm frying pan that I have over medium to high heat. And I'll move this around to make sure the entire pan is nicely coated. Once that pan is nice and hot, we can go ahead and lay in our chicken. And that instant sizzle is exactly what we want to hear. Now we're just going to let that chicken sit for about 3 to 4 minutes as it develops a beautiful golden crust on the bottom. And to add even more flavor, I'm going to drop in about a tablespoon of butter because chicken is inherently very lean, and this is just going to add a little bit more fat to it as well as flavor. Just going to tilt my pan to help spread those juices. Well, it's been about 3.5 minutes and I'm starting to smell and see some brown butter. So that means we can go ahead and flip our chicken over. Oh, look at that beautiful golden color that we have on the bottom. And then we'll let them cook on this side for about another 3 to 4 minutes. And to help them cook through a little bit quicker, I'll go ahead and put a lid on it. The secret to having super juicy chicken is having an internal temperature of about 165 degrees. So I'm going to take off the lid now and then we'll start checking the temperature so that we can take it off as soon as it's done. All the parts of this piece on the right are checking out at over 165 degrees. So it is ready to come out of a pan. So I'm going to transfer it to a plate, and then we'll move this guy over until it's at the right temperature. Well, this piece has now reached an internal temperature of at least 165, so it can come out of the pan as well. So I'm just going to move around the drippings that are inside of this pan, and then I'm just going to pull out some bits that look like they're kind of close to being burnt. And then we can go ahead and add in our vegetables. And then we'll season with a little bit of salt, and then we're going to cook these vegetables just until our carrots are fork tender. I'm going to go ahead and put my lid back on to help speed that up. And then while our vegetables are cooking, our chicken is resting. And this is the magical phase that takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And that's allowing all those juices to really soak back up into that chicken meat, which is going to make it absolutely delicious. So it's been about 7 minutes and our vegetables are now lightly browned as well as fork tender. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer them back to their bowl. And then I'll turn my heat to medium. And then we're going to very carefully pour in our sauce. So we'll move this around until it starts to simmer and then it becomes nice and thick. So while our sauce is simmering, we'll go ahead and slice our chicken. Oh, that looks so good. It's beautifully brown on the outside, but then nice and white and juicy on the inside. But we're also going to keep an eye on our sauce and keep stirring it. You can see how soft and juicy this chicken is. So we'll go ahead and keep stirring our sauce that's come to a nice simmer. And you can tell that it's nice and thick when you drag your spatula through it, and there's a delay as it comes together. And if you'd like your sauce to be a little bit on the thicker side, you can go ahead and sprinkle in a little bit more of your cornstarch or continue to let it simmer and thicken. That looks perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and turn down my heat, and then I'm going to add in my diced chicken. And I'll go ahead and stir those in so they can become infused with that amazing sauce. And then we can add in our cooked vegetables as well as our pineapple chunks that have been waiting for their turn. And then we'll give this a good stir. This recipe is generous on the sauce to make sure you have enough for all of your chicken and vegetables, but also a little bit extra if you'd like to serve this on top of rice. Well, this looks so beautiful, but just needs a couple more garnishes. I didn't add any onions with the vegetables because I really like to add a green onion at the end as a garnish. And I like having it fresh and uncooked just to bring in some really vibrant flavor. So I'm just going to finely dice some green onion, and then a few sesame seeds will make it extra special. Now you can serve this over chow mein noodles or white rice or brown rice or fried rice. I'm going to make a little sample bowl. I add a little bit of green onion as well as a few sesame seeds. That is so cute. See if I can get it all in one bite. That tastes incredible. As soon as I bite in, I get a burst of just bright, vibrant flavor. I get the sweet coming in from the pineapple juice and the pineapples and the honey. Then I also get the sour, which comes in through the vinegar. And that chicken is so juicy and tender. And then the vegetables are just super fresh and soft, but still with lots of flavor. And then getting a little bite of the green onion and the sesame seed just finishes it off perfectly. And I love that this is made in one pan with clean, natural ingredients. And this is the perfect flavorful base that you can add a little more spice to if that's your preference. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me in my kitchen today. And I've included a link to the full recipe in the video description below, which takes you to my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love this recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen next time.